Hello, Active Sage here on the Sage channel, and welcome back to some more Medieval Engineers, and to be more exact, the realms of Xebonia. Did I say that right? Xebonia. Zonk went ahead and changed the name of the server. Anyway, it's a multiplayer server where I've been streaming, and a bunch of people have been helping me build some things, and in fact, this is a little village called Shadow Vale, which Conrad Larson has founded, and Scott's Dragon has actually played on it too. But we're here not to show off the community house, which we were standing in front of a second ago, but that new rather large structure that I've just revealed by walking sideways and a little bit backwards. Now, that large structure there I built on a live stream this weekend, and the main idea of building it was that I was going to stream for an hour, maybe two, and build basically just a stockpile thing, somewhere we could store logs. So instead of having this little log storage thing right here, which somebody built while I was AFK, it might have been, what was his name? The fantastical, impressive, mind-boggling, what the hell is his name? Lexator. I have to literally think of, what was the name of the blue-shirted guy running away from trees? Lexator. He built that thing. He's even got his own YouTube channel if you go ahead and search her out for it. But he built that, I believe, or either Coaljack did. But either way, I decided to build a larger structure to hold all of the cities or towns' supplies. Conrad Dragon always keeps saying he wants this to be a quaint little town. I'm not very good at quaint little town, apparently. I ended up building this monstrosity, and of course the community house, which kind of dwarfed Scott and Conrad's original house as well. So anyway, this is the storage keep. This is where the city, town, village, whatever you wish to call it, will store all of its main supplies. It's sort of a keep because everyone kept calling it a keep, and honestly, I ended up building a keep on accident. Let's go ahead and just carry up the murder road here. This is the murder road, if you don't know, because people keep dying on it. And yes, I did build into the murder road, so I'm going to have to expand it into the mountain at some point. But for the time being, this is the best way to get a higher look at it, is just to go up the murder road a bit, and you can see it's a notable structure to store everything we could possibly need. Now, why is it so big? Well, like I said in the beginning, I originally planned to stream for an hour, maybe two. Unfortunately, as I started building, I started realizing if we had built it to the size or the footprint I originally wanted, it would end up eating into the mountain an awful lot. And obviously, it does eat into the mountain there, but for it to have a big level flat floor, we would probably end up having to eat into the mountain even more. So, to make a, well, rather annoying problem less annoying, we added some stairs. So, when we go into the front gate here, we walk up 3 flights of stairs. Let me figure out the button here to open this door. There we go, one of those did it. I'm using a controller for this little tour. So you can see we came up, I believe that was, 1, 2, 3 flights of stairs. That way we could build a large level area here without having to worry about eating into the mountain to create the level zone. So we ended up just building up an awful lot. And you can see now that we're in here, and I can even go ahead and pull out a torch since it does get a little dark. I don't have lights for fear of them causing FPS drops. But you can see there are quite a few storage chests about, as well as just stone stockpiles. And if we were to look to our left and right, you'll actually see that we can walk under here, and we have this lovely little crawl space full of more and more stone, where we are storing just oodles and oodles and oodles of stuff. And in fact, if we were to look out the other side, as I mentioned, well, this is the front door again, if we were just wanting to drop out this way. But as I had mentioned, it's square, by the way, if you're using a PlayStation 4 controller. But anyway, you can see on the other side we have more stuff. And in fact, if we were to go ahead and access the inventory of this by pressing F on the keyboard, because I have no idea how to do it on a console controller, it's full of sticks. All these are full of sticks. I filled 4 of them full of sticks. Lexator and maybe Coaljack, but I think largely Lexator went ahead and filled the rest of them with sticks. He went up to this floor and filled all these with the wooden logs. So I made a stockpile area, and he took it about himself to go ahead and actually make sure all of this was filled to the top. And you can see we can have one more floor, but before we go up there, I'll just show you that, again, you remember where we walked in the front door, and now we're walking out straight out of door, so you can see the height difference here. We've already gone up a floor, and sure enough, we're walking directly out onto a road. So it ends up being a little bit odd all the ways in and out. If we were to go along the walls of the little fortress of ours, the storage keep, you can see we have arched ceilings all along here to make sure the whole place stays, well, somewhat structurally sound. That way we can have the tall walls it has without them necessarily crumbling as if they were just the thin little walls. So hopefully all these arched passageways will keep it all a little bit more sturdy. And you can see we even have some nice windows here. In fact, if we were to go out here and head back down this stairwell and head down this way, we can actually go ahead and see that this, once again, leads us out. Oh, that's not all right. To another area. So, got front doors, we got back doors, we even got one side door. The only thing we're missing is an actual other side door. So, hey, all the different ways. In fact, if we were to come this way, we even have a down door where we can pop this open. And it's going to lead us down to where we're eventually going to be storing all of our more valuable items, such as, well, currently, iron. We're just going to store tons and tons of iron down here. For the time being, though, it's just stored scattered all over the bloody place in the village and the community house and such things as that. Anyway, back up to the surface world. Close that lovely little gate there. Thank you very much. And we can go ahead and head ourselves all the way up to that third floor now, since you've seen pretty much everything here. I think. I mean, there is a balcony. Do you like balconies? Because we do have a balcony over here which you could step out onto. Ta-da! Nice little view of the community house there, which has expanded a little bit since the other video. The expansion was done by either Koljack or Lexator or maybe Crue? I don't know, but I'm suspecting it was probably Koljack. Anyway, he added a nice little thing there, which has some cooking apparatus inside of it. I love these little windows as well, even though not exactly perfectly set to actually be able to see much out of them. A little slow animation to open up. Ta-da! Not the best view in the world, but it does at least give you the sense that there's more airflow and more light. But I did also go ahead and put these in here. So, there's a nice little tool set on each floor and, well, sort of each corner. That way you can go ahead and, well, if you want, fiddle about and work. And in theory, we could store more metal here or other little trinkets. Unfortunately, Lexator took it upon himself to fill it all with sticks as well. Like a plague, Lexator has spread sticks everywhere. Maybe Koljack helped too, I don't know. I've been offline a little while and they seem to have filled everything up. Anyway, going up to the third floor here, you can see we have even more storage space. Tons and tons and tons of storage space. And in fact, Lexator was pretty dead set on, well, not logging off for the night until everything was done. He was almost done with the lower storage down there of all those logs. He was telling me that he was going to move on to the stones once all those were done. And I mentioned, have you seen the third floor yet? And that's when he came up here and was sort of aghast at the rather shocking amount of open storage space we still had. Luckily, I told him not to kill himself, and he logged off. Presumably not killing himself, but actually, you know, taking a break from the game instead of working all day trying to fill all of our stockpiles up here. Anyway, you can see the roof in here, or the ceiling, I guess, so if it's the other side of a roof, is almost reminds me of an English factory, or just an old factory area, except for it's all these little ceramic plates. And if we were to go ahead and run past this other tool set and head this way, it'll take us all the way up to the top area where we'll actually be above that roof. And did I mention I built all of this on a live stream with the help of a bunch of people like Lexator, like Koljack, like Croatia, Crunter? I just call her Crue, it's easier. Anyway, a bunch of people helped me build this thing up. Mostly I was placing blocks and they would go ahead and actually move the materials to them and build this huge place up. And most of that is on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ectosage, if you want to go watch that 8-hour VOD. Remember, this started as a 2-hour attempt. At no point in that do I actually think, oh, let's keep going. It's just sort of realized that it's been 8 hours at some point. Anyway, that is this huge storage keep of ours. The only bits of it that I wasn't online streaming for were, well, I built these walls up here, and I started the roof and logged off. They finished the roof while I was away, and then today, without streaming, I went ahead and actually did these little stairwell bits here so we could have all these little, watch out turret things up here. Anyway, that is that. Thanks a bunch for watching, and if you'd like to go ahead and hop on Zock's server and hang out with us, feel free to do so, but kindly be respectful. Just go ahead and Google that name I mentioned earlier. What was it? Silly name? Realm of Xebonia, I believe it was. And in fact, it feels wrong to end the video right there. Let's go ahead and try to get a proper view of this keep by heading back down here and head all the way down the thing. By the way, we do have this outlook right here, which I think is quite nice. And it does use the new block because as we were actually building this place, the latest update came out, so you can now throw stuff down from there. And head ourselves down this way and down this way and hang a right and hang out here. It's a pretty big place. I kept calling it the storage facility. Conrad definitely did disagree with that name once he actually saw the bloody thing, as well as pretty much everyone else disagreed with it once they actually saw it. But let's go ahead and get ourselves away from it so we get a proper view of the scale of this wonderful structure that we have put together. And remember, this is all survival mode. I might have some admin stuff on the server, but so far I've only used it to fly about to look at things from afar and try to lift a man up into space. That was swampy. That happened on the stream too, where we helped try to get a man into space on the server. Anyway, there you go. There's our massive structure. It's a pretty good sight to see, I think. And here's our whole village slowly growing up. And you can see some stuff up the mountain behind it, which that's all for pretty much Conrad the show. In fact, I can even camera ourselves out and see the whole facility right here. Anyway, once again, you want to join the server, go ahead and Google Realm of Xebonia, I believe it was, and you'll have to join the Xebon, Xebon Steam group to hop on, but you can come and hang out with us, and when I stream, I'm pretty okay with just letting people come and help, or if Conrad's on, you can even ask to join the village and continue to build this silly little village out. Anyway, thanks a bunch for watching, and I shall see you all next time. Ta-ta. Oh, also, did I mention? Our farm's sunk. Like, they're sinking. Like, you can no longer walk under these like you used to be able to. Like, all those little stone around the edges here that you used to be able to see? Yeah, they're completely sunken under the ground now. Everything is sinking.